Good afternoon. Today on Garden Down South, I'm going to tell you how I mix up my hydroponic fertilizer and what I use. First thing you need is a small digital scale, but I'll tell you what you can use if you don't have one of these. But this is kind of important to have as far as weighing up what you need to mix in your 5 gallons of water, because each of these things is a different density. So if you put it in a tablespoon or whatever, it's going to be a little bit bigger. It's real close. You can do it that way with just like tablespoon measurements and such, because it doesn't have to be super accurate and it'll still work pretty good. But if you want to get it right on the money, you need to get you a digital scale. First ingredient of the three, use Masterblend tomato fertilizer, and it takes 12 grams for 5 gallons of water. This whole recipe is for 5 gallons of water to put in your reservoir. So 12 grams of Masterblend, 12 grams of calcium nitrate, and it's best to get this water soluble kind, because you're going to be dissolving that water, of course, and magnesium sulfate, which is Epsom salts. And the most important thing you want to know about mixing this up is do not mix them all at the same time, because they'll crystallize. They won't dissolve in the water. You have to mix them up one at a time. And what I do is put about 2.5 gallons in a 5 gallon bucket, because it's easier to stir. Because if you put all 5 gallons in, you're sitting there stirring, and it takes a little while longer. But if you put a smaller amount of water in there, it's easier to stir and get mixed up real quick. So you add all your components in and then fill it up the rest of the way, 5 gallons, and complete your fertilizer mix. If you don't have a scale, 12 grams of this Masterblend is right level on a tablespoon. Same way with the calcium nitrate. It's just a level, flat level, even a little bit smaller, will be 12 grams. And the 6 grams of Epsom salt is a heaping teaspoon, like as much as you can get on there. Here's what it, all right, see, it's pretty much level. You still got that much in there. That's 6 grams, and I dumped a little out. As far as this Masterblend, this is 12 grams I measured out on the scale, and it's a level tablespoon. That's perfect. So you'll be good doing that. And don't handle this with your bare hands. You're not supposed to. But let's get to mixing it up. All right, I got a little bit more water in here than I wanted. I always like to only put it like half full because it's easier to stir, but not a big deal, and it's not hard either way. I just like to do it because it seems to mix up quicker. First thing I always mix up is the calcium nitrate, because it takes a little bit longer to dissolve. I use a PVC pipe because, I don't know, it kind of stirs junk up better because it has this hole in the bottom and it like makes air bubbles and such. But you just stir that up real good. You want to stir it, make sure it's completely dissolved in the water so your tomatoes get all the nutrients they need. And you don't need to use warm water. You don't want to use warm water. So if you're getting out of a hose, make sure you run all the hot water out first. And that actually looks like it's already dissolved, believe it or not. Anyway, it doesn't take very long. And I'm going to do my magnesium sulfate next. It dissolves real quick. So you ain't got to stir it like crazy. The calcium nitrate, sometimes it takes longer, but today it didn't. And for the final ingredient, my Masterblend, 12 grams. But like I said with this fertilizer, the most important thing of all is do not dump it all in there at the same time, because it will not dissolve. I don't know why, I'm not a chemist, but I can tell you after like the first season of doing my hydroponics, which I still grew pretty decent tomatoes and tomato plants. I didn't realize that. And then as the years went by, you'd find it on the internet, hey, don't mix these together, as more people started doing it and ran into the same problem, apparently. So that's all mixed up. Now all we gotta do is go dump it in the reservoir. Go ahead and fill it up the rest of the way. Make sure it's 5 gallons. And this isn't got to be totally accurate because I don't know the exact line on a 5-gallon bucket that makes it 5 gallons. So I usually just go up to like the second lip because it's not real critical measurement, I don't think. And then I just dump her in. And I may make up 2 batches to fill her on up, so I ain't got to fill it up again. This last batch I did was about a week, and it still had a solution in it, but I don't want it to get low, and I miss it one day because your pump will burn up if it's sucking air. So that's all there is to it. Currently growing heirloom tomatoes in this hydroponic setup, and if you want to follow along on the process, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you'll be notified when I put up a new video and you can follow along and see how they're doing. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.